Hi, my name is Sylvia and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to speak about a very interesting topic, or at least from my point of view it's very interesting, and that is the Venus-Saturn hard aspects in the natal chart. The hard aspects between Venus and Saturn are the conjunction, the square, and the opposition. And to make things even more interesting, I chose the lyrics of a song that I think that perfectly describes the Venus-Saturn hard aspect themes in the natal chart. The song is called To the Moon and Back by Savage Garden, and I'm going to quote the lyrics. She's taking time making up the reasons to justify all the hurt inside. Guess she knows from the smile and the look in their eyes. Everyone's got a theory about the bitter one. They're saying Mama never loved her much and Daddy never keeps in touch. That's why she shies away from human affection. She can't remember a time when she felt needed. If love was red, then she was colorblind. She's saying, love is like a barren place, and reaching out for human faith is like a journey I just don't have a map for. So I'm pretty sure that people who have these aspects might have felt in their life, or maybe they feel exactly like the girl in our song has felt. And I know a lot of people, when they hear about these aspects, they might say, oh, this is one of the worst aspects that someone could have, or that the person will have only bad experiences in love, or unrequited love, or they will experience unfulfillment in relationships. And yes, it's not really the easiest, these aspects are not really the easiest ones that someone could have. They're quite challenging indeed, but I think that they can be overcome if the person does some self-work. And I also think it's important to analyze a bit their mentality and their negative expectations that they have in love. This is actually quite important because they do have negative expectations when it comes to love and relationships. They can feel that they will never find love, or love is just not meant for them, or they can feel that they are not worthy of love, like they're not beautiful enough, not interesting enough, not intelligent enough, not attractive enough, so no one would accept them or like them for who they truly are. And another problem is that they're very sensitive when it comes to rejection and to hurt. They're not like the people who have Venus conjunct Jupiter in their natal chart. They have, generally speaking, a positive outlook towards love. Even if they get hurt, it's easy for them to move on and still keep the faith and the hopes that one day they will have a fulfilling love, or they will find the love of their lives. But the person who has Venus, Saturn, hard aspects in the natal chart are a bit more skeptical. And because when they get hurt, they get very badly hurt. And it's very difficult for them to let go of those bad experiences that they have experienced in love. And of course they always expect the worst. And I know you would ask yourself, why would someone have so many bad and negative expectations when it comes to love? And most of the times, these expectations are based on previous experiences, whether that were in the past life, maybe they have been hurt in the past life, or they have experienced very poor relationships, or maybe they didn't have the best or good relationship with one of their parents, or with both of their parents. And usually this is the most common scenario. Maybe the parents, or one of the parents weren't very loving. They were colder. They didn't give the love and the affection that the child really needed, or they were they weren't really focused on the needs, on the emotional needs of the child, or they weren't very understanding or very emotionally supportive of the child. Or they were the type of people who, the parents who were more interested in the discipline of the child, and they were very critical of the child, always picking up on the child, or always complaining about what the child did. No matter what they did, nothing was good enough. They were never happy of what their child did. So of course, the child will internalize this criticism, and of course these experiences will affect the self-esteem of the child, because the indirect message that the child gets is that you're not good enough no matter what you do, and you are rejected for who you are or for what you do, and you're not loved. You don't deserve to be loved because you're just not good enough. Or another scenario would be that the parents were more focused on making money, working a lot, or they achieving a high status in the society, so they spent a lot of time working on their goals instead of spending time with the child. So the child felt neglected, felt rejected, and again, the indirect message that they got was that the parents, which it's kind of true, the parents somehow chose money, or chose their social status over them. So yeah, like I said, these people can have very negative expectations, and they can be actually their own worst enemy even without them realizing that. They might not be very good when it comes to flirting. Some of them might not really possess the art of flirting, or it's very difficult for them to spot when someone shows interest in them. Maybe they don't really see the subtle actions of the other person, or it's very difficult for them to show it when they're interested in someone. This can be also another typical scenario. And they are very their guard is very up, and there can be also very defensive when it comes to love, and maybe this is why it's so difficult for them to open up emotionally, because generally speaking, yes, they really are closed off emotionally, and they are afraid to open up to love and open up to potential relationship partners. And this is, like I said, it's because they are afraid that they will get hurt, or they will get rejected or abandoned. And it's also important to know the fact that most probably they haven't learned love in the relationship with their parents, or with one of the parents, most probably the mother. They didn't learn how to receive love and affection, and they didn't even learn how to give love and affection. So they might feel uncomfortable with giving and receiving love, and showing the other one that they care. So they can also be very hard on themselves, and sometimes they can, like I said before, they can think that the other person, I'm interested in someone, let's say, but I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not attractive enough, so most probably that person doesn't like me back, or why should I try to approach that person when I know that most probably I'll get rejected. So instead of really taking the risk of approaching someone you're interested in, you just don't do anything, you decide not to do anything. So this is another big problem, because People who have Venus Saturn hard aspects are not really risk takers when it comes to love and relationships. Actually, they're quite the opposite. They like to play it on the safe side. And what I also noticed is that these people sometimes can choose security and stability over love. They might choose to be in a relationship with someone who they're not very in love with, but that person is loyal and stable and uh, someone that they know they won't hurt them. So it's for them, like I said, stability is really important and security. And they will always choose, or most of the times they choose someone who will be loyal because they know that that person won't hurt them. Instead of, for example, choosing someone they really are in love, but they feel that that person might hurt them earlier or later. So yeah, these are actually the different scenarios that can play out in their relationships. And like I said before, it's really important for them to realize that they really are their own worst enemies and they need to loosen up and relax more when it comes to love. I hope you liked my description of the Venus Saturn hard aspects in the birth chart. Thank you very much.